Hi, this is Miranda Anderson from Free Horizon Montessori. I'm an upper elementary teacher. The purpose of this video is to give parents information about the Outdoor Lab program. The photos included in the slides are from the last 3 years at the YMCA Center of the Rockies. History of Outdoor Ed at FHM. Judy Murray was the first guide to take a group out to the Jefferson County Public Schools Outdoor Lab location in 2005. Students went there for about 8 years before changing to the YMCA of the Rockies, where we have gone for the last 3 years. Outdoor Lab is an integral part of the 6th grade curriculum and an invaluable experience in outdoor learning. The trip truly is an experience of a lifetime for our kids, and they will return to you eager to share stories of what they saw and what they experienced outside with their friends. The bus will depart Free Horizon around 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Parents are welcome to stay, help their child check in, make sure that any last-minute questions or concerns are addressed that morning before we depart. The bus will return around 2 p.m. on Friday. In the past, we have been late back to the school due to traffic. One year the bus driver got lost coming to pick us up at the YMCA, so there are different variables that will impact our return. However, you will be notified with a call from the office when we are leaving the YMCA. This should give you adequate time in order to plan to pick up your child from the school when we arrive. Again, you will be notified on Monday via telephone from the office when your student successfully arrives at the YMCA, and then you will also receive a phone call on Friday when we are leaving the YMCA so that you can plan and be ready to pick up your child when we arrive at the school. The facilities at the YMCA are detailed on their website at thymcarockies.org. So please feel welcome to get on that website, check out all of the amenities and the grounds there. For the students, we stay in dorms, and there are 4 students assigned to each room. Each room has bunk beds and also has its own bathroom. So the students will only be sharing a bathroom with the 3 other kids assigned to their room. Boys are all grouped together in the rooms at one end of the hall. The girls are all grouped with each other in the rooms at the other end of the hall, and the teachers are stationed in the middle. We walk the halls up and down and monitor the students during any dorm time, as well as in the evening before they go to bed. 2 to 3 FHM staff are there at the facilities with the students full-time for the entire week, and we also have different staff members coming up for day trips to enjoy the different activities and to help monitor the students with us on a daily basis. On Monday, it is critical that the students pack a lunch. We will not be eating lunch at the YMCA facility on Monday, so students must bring a sack lunch to eat when we arrive. The bus driver does allow students to drink water on the bus, but they are not allowed to eat any snacks at all while we are on the bus ride. Please send a snack with your student to eat in the morning before we get on the bus. We will have a pre-boarding meeting in order to answer any last-minute questions or address any last-minute concerns, and the students are encouraged to eat a snack during that meeting so that they do not get hungry and tempted to eat during our long bus ride up to Estes Park. When we get to Estes Park, the bus will drop us off at the dorms. Students will drop off all of their luggage into the front lobby there, and then we have to go immediately to eat lunch and then begin our first activity. So a lot happens on during our arrival on Monday. And that is why it is so important for the students to have that sack lunch, something that they can throw all of the contents away after they're done eating so that we can stay on the move. All of the core classes at the Outdoor Lab program are aligned with Colorado state standards, and they're also aligned to the Common Core state standards. Here you see a list of some of the classes and activities offered. They include water and river ecology, rock and ice ecology. Last year we sat in a valley and the guide modeled and showed for us how an iceberg had formed the valley that we were sitting in. We also did archery last year. Team building was a hit. That's something you see here in the picture. So the facility does a fantastic job at providing educational, fun, and entertaining activities for our students. I have not received our class schedule for this upcoming year, but I am sure it will not disappoint. Our typical daily schedule begins with an early wake-up call around 6:15. We always make sure the students are in bed, lights out by 9:15 so that they can get a full night's rest. Activities will sometimes affect our dinner time, but we are always in the dining hall by 6 o'clock so that the students have enough time to eat before our evening class at 7 o'clock. The evening classes also vary in time, and it is rare that we have more than 15 minutes in the dorm rooms. I know that this schedule shows a 45-minute dorm room time before lights out, but again, last year the longest we had in the evening in our dorm rooms was about 20 minutes. We make sure that our daily scheduled activities fill the entire day so that our students are worn out and ready for bed by 9:15. Meals are served in a dining hall. It is buffet style, and the buffet has many options for fruits and vegetables. There is always a salad, and the variety of meals provided covers vegetarian options as well as gluten and dairy-free accommodations. Please make sure that you inform me or your child's teacher, and encourage your child, of course, to do the same, of any diet accommodations that they will need for the trip, and we will definitely make sure that it happens. Drinks, the dining hall includes water, milk, juice, and tea. There is soda and coffee, but I do not allow the students to drink either one. We are up there hiking at high elevations and need to keep our bodies hydrated. Soda is a dehydrant, and it is not allowed. Dessert is allowed during the evening meals when the students have demonstrated and modeled how to behave well in the lunchroom and everywhere they go. The dining hall is a public restaurant setting, so restaurant manners do apply. There are other groups in the dining hall, other school groups, adult groups, so it is really important that our students are practicing grace and courtesy and are acting in the way that they would at a public restaurant. Medication. The 2 or 3 full-time FHM staff members who are with the students for the entire week will be administering their medication. We are required to follow the Jefferson County Public School restrictions and guidelines that go along with administering medication. These guidelines include that 1, the medicine is doctor prescribed, and 2, there is a current date on the prescription. Please double check your child's medication, whether it be on the bottle or the packaging, to make sure that this date is current. We absolutely cannot administer medication that does not meet these 2 guidelines. So please schedule a doctor's appointment or do whatever it is that you need to in order to make sure that your child's medication meets these guidelines. Third, we ask that your child does not bring vitamins or herbal medications. We will not administer either of these during our trip. Please keep in mind that your child will be with us for 3 full days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You will, however, be able to give them their daily vitamin or herbal supplement on Monday before bringing them to school, and then Friday when they return to you. If you feel that your student has a special case, please come and speak with me. I will set up an appointment with our school nurse, and we can make sure to address any concern that you may have. There is emergency personnel on site at the YMCA Center of the Rockies location. There is also a hospital in Estes Park. Fortunately, we have not had to utilize this option yet, and I hope that we will not have to this year either. Discipline. Super fantastic behavior is the expectation. In the past, when our groups have been on their very best behavior, people notice. Other school groups, other adult groups will compliment us on the behavior. The students hear it, and it makes them feel great. Please have a conversation with your child about their behavior expectations when they're on the trail, when they're in the dorms, the pool, how to interact with our guides, how to properly and politely ask a question or express an idea. All of these scenarios in which they will need to make decisions for appropriate behavior. Because this is a school event, all Jeffco School Student Code of Conduct applies. All the same rules that students are expected to follow at FHM, they are also expected to follow while we are at Outdoor Lab. If not followed, parents will be called any time of day or night to come and pick up their child from Estes Park. This has not happened in the past, and our goal is to keep this record going. Typically, we don't see any unwanted behaviors that may occur in the classroom because the students are in an environment that is exciting and stimulating, filled with opportunities for them to express themselves physically. But please have a conversation with your child leading up to their week-long trip in order to help us ensure that we can keep our record going of no child being sent home. What to wear? Please check the weather forecast leading up to our trip to make sure that you can make any last-minute adjustments to the clothing your child has packed. Students will be given a supply list to guide their packing, and this list is attached to the email you received this summer. It will also be made available at registration night and on the FHM website. Water bottles are surprisingly left home every year that we go. There is a handful of students who forgets their water bottles. So please double check the morning of that your student has a reusable water bottle, something that is sturdy and doesn't leak. I would definitely test the water bottle to make sure it doesn't leak, and it may even be smart to put it inside of a Ziploc bag. And double check that in the morning to make sure your student has the water they will need during our hikes. On the student supply list, items are marked as either required or optional, and that is up to you and your student's discretion. We will be going in September this year, so please make sure that you dress for fall weather. Make sure your student has a day pack, a proper jacket. Make sure that they have a hat with a bill to keep the sun off of their face, sunscreen. All of these things are outlined in the supply list. Items to not bring. We ask that your student do not bring any electronics at all to Outdoor Lab. The purpose of our trip is to explore and learn about our outdoor environment, not to be sucked into electronic devices. Students may bring a camera that is not a part of a cell phone or an iPad. It must be a standalone camera used for taking pictures only. If students bring electronic devices, they will be confiscated by a teacher and either given back to parents at the end of the week or at the end of the school year, depending on the scenario. Students should not bring money. They should not bring candy. Any of the items you see here on this slide will be confiscated and returned to parents at the end of the week. Please check your student's bag the morning of our trip, that Monday morning before you drop them off, to make sure they haven't snuck any of these items in last minute. Another note on clothing, we discourage bringing shorts and instead encourage students to wear either jeans or thick hiking pants. The idea behind this is that our students are still a little clumsy, and every year there's a majority of students, I would say, fall. And so in order to prevent cuts on our legs, it is encouraged to wear jeans or hiking pants. There are also, many bushes and brush on the sides of the trail, and just, stepping off the path for a second, rubbing off against these bushes causes scratches and bleeding that we would like to prevent. So please make sure that your student packs jeans or thick hiking pants to wear as an alternative to shorts. No flip-flops or sandals should be brought. Sweatpants or tights. Sweatpants may be worn as nighttime clothing, but again, we prefer students to wear either jeans or thick hiking pants on the trail. Any candy brought or food brought will be confiscated. All of the food will be provided in the cafeteria, so there is no need for your student to bring any extra food. Anything that is brought will be confiscated. Another important thing to note about clothing and dress for the week is that students should be prepared to dress in layers. It is still very cold in Estes Park in the mornings in September. Last year there was often frost on the grass, and so students will need to wear coats and a hat or a beanie in the morning, but then be prepared to take these coats off and these different layers to put into their backpacks as it warms up in the afternoon. So please make sure that your student has appropriate clothing for layering. The cost of our trip this year is $375. This fee covers transportation, meals, all materials, programs, supplies, and instruction. The cost will be included in your child's beginning of year school registration fee. Please contact Miss Margaret King in the office if you have any financial concerns. Otherwise, the fee will be included in the beginning of year school fee at registration. The deadline for returning all forms is September 9th, 2016. The forms are available online at the FHM website. We will have paper forms at the registration day, and they were also attached to the email you received this summer. Please bring in these forms as soon as possible. Do not wait until the deadline. Your student may return these forms to their homeroom teacher or to me, Miss Miranda. Along with all of the forms outlined here on this slide, you also need to turn in a copy of your student's insurance card. That's all the information I have for you today. If you have any questions or concerns that were not addressed in our slideshow, or if anything comes up between now and the trip, please contact me, Miss Miranda. I am in UE2. My email is here on the slide. I look forward to another fantastic week in Estes Park with our 6th years.